Lesson 25. I do not know what anything is for.
So today's lesson continues on from yesterday's. We began to see that all perception was determined by ego goals. And then the obvious step is to withdraw the meaning on every goal, withdraw the meaning every demand, every expectation, every meaning that was given to the world of images. Because all of these false ego goals and meanings are blocking the awareness of one simple fact. Everything is for your own best interest. So first, we were told by Jesus that we do not perceive our own best interest in any situation. And now today, we are being told this amazing fact that everything is for your own best interest. And he goes on to say that is what it is for. Meaning everything is for your own best interest is the purpose. That is its purpose. That is what it means. This recognition that everything is for your own best interest is the meaning of forgiveness. All things work together for good. Without comparison, all things are equally acceptable. And everything I ask for, I receive as I have asked. All things work together for good. There are no exceptions except in the ego's judgment. And the ego doesn't exist. So this workbook lesson number 25 is echoing the teaching in the Bible. All things work together for good for those who love the Lord. For those who are in alignment with the Lord. For those whose one goal is peace of mind, whose one goal is forgiveness, is happiness. That alignment yields an experience of all things work together for good. And what of all this goal pursuit that we talked about yesterday? Jesus tells us that these are all coming from personal interest, and he follows that by saying, you have no personal interest. That's why Miguel Ruiz, in his 4 agreements, has one of the agreements is, don't take anything personally, because nothing is personal. The ego is not who we are. And yet, Jesus says this false identification makes you incapable of understanding what anything is for. And as a result, you are bound to misuse it. So believing in the ego means not understanding anything and misusing everything. That's the seeming cost of believing in the ego. It's not a cost in reality, but it's a cost in awareness. It costs you the awareness of peace. And he says, when you believe this, when you believe that you don't understand anything and you're misusing everything, then you will try to withdraw the goals you have assigned to the world instead of attempting to reinforce them. You will release all sense of ambition. You will release all sense of striving for something that you don't already have. Because as we learned from our text reading today, what you have is what you are. What you have is what you've always been. You don't need to seek for your identity. You don't need to achieve goals to reach or reinforce your identity. Identity is created by Spirit, by God, and it does not need to be improved. You come to the awareness that there is no such thing as self-improvement, and there never was. Your motivation will shift from striving and pursuing to an acceptance of what is, a contentment. And then Jesus gives us a beautiful example about using a telephone that you do seem to understand purpose at superficial levels. But he follows this up by saying that yet purpose cannot be understood at these levels. So you may seem to know what a telephone is for, may seem to know what a car is for, a chair, a table, a drink, but purpose cannot be understood at these levels. Remember, the ego invented these levels. All levels are inventions of the ego. And Jesus told us in the text that the only seeming levels that do not conflict are the levels of the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The reason they don't conflict is because they are one Spirit. Spirit doesn't have levels. There's no levels of love. Love is constant, eternal, unchanging. So again today, as we practice the lesson, I do not know what anything is for. Let's practice it without making any distinctions to whatever we seem to look upon. Jesus gives us some examples. Pay no attention to near or far, important or unimportant, human or non-human, but calmly look upon anything that catches your eye, remembering, I do not know what this is for. Practicing very specifically, very slowly, and moving on to the next subject. We are freeing the mind of false meanings, false goals, false pursuits. This is a mind exercise. This is for mind training. And remember, this is for peace of mind, for awareness of true identity. I do not know what anything is for.